All right, what's up, good people? Welcome to the podcast, Conscious Connections. I'm your host, Nicole Blackson. We have two special guests tonight, Waliyyah and her wife, Zita. So we're going to get up in y'all business a little bit, not too much. It's like, no, it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be the good stuff. We just want y'all to tell us how y'all consciously connect, how y'all make this thing do what it do. Y'all been married for 5 years now?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Almost 6.
So I'm listening. I'm tuned in to hear these pearls of wisdom, okay? So the first question to get things started is, what does it mean to consciously connect?
Good question.
Good first question.
You want to go first? Or I'm gonna go
No, you go ahead.
What does it mean to consciously connect? I think it's about being intentional, about opening your heart towards someone.
It's true. I let
Yeah.
someone in.
You all in love. Go ahead, Zita.
Yeah. I don't know. It just works. I don't know.
Oh, you know, I told you I'm going to be pulling. You
I
know.
gotta find my words to put it. Yeah. I don't know. You go ahead.
Take it down.
I forgot my phone. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. What does it mean to consciously connect? Well, I'm already frozen. We haven't even started. I think you said it best. Oh my gosh.
What does it mean to connect with your wife? Because for some people, that's like joined at the hip, day by day. We together all the time.
We are together all the time. It's refreshing. It's magical. To consciously connect. Wow.
See, I told you, y'all so in love.
You're looking at me like I'm not sure. I know.
All right, well, let's think about how y'all do it. So when do you feel most connected with one another? What times? What are you doing? What's the mood like? What's the vibe like?
When I come home from work. When I come home from work and I see her, it's 5 years. It's going to be 6 years. It's still butterflies. I can't wait to get home, to just hug her, to just be there. Just sitting next to her makes me feel comfortable. I don't know. It's I laugh when I'm nervous. So
That's okay.
but, yeah, it's. What about you?
When I feel close, I feel like it's kind of similar. And when we're just doing regular stuff, I don't know, like at home on the sofa chilling, or let's go to the supermarket, or let's
Just cooking.
yeah, like
Together.
cleaning off the snow from the car last week. I guess saying all of that, it seems like I feel close to her when we're just in each other's presence. Yeah.
Now, somebody's in the medical profession, right?
Both of us.
Both of you. So in regards to time, because what I'm hearing is like quality time. That's That's when y'all feel most connected, when y'all get to spend time with each other. So what balance do you have with your respective careers and being able to spend quality time? Especially during this COVID quarantine years. How has that been?
What you think?
You can go ahead. Yeah.
I would say, I think because our jobs are very much like it's this shift, and before COVID, there was no work coming home. So it was easy. Like once you're out of work, then, it's time for us or whatever we individually want to do. But since COVID, I started working at home part of the time.
Okay.
So for me, I think is being conscious of not like if it's 5 o'clock or if I say I'm gonna be done at a certain time, not stretching it like, just 4 more things or just like, because it is, my wife is there, expecting me to be done with work and like leaving her waiting or hanging when it's really not like anything that's extremely urgent that I could just cut off. So I think I've found it more challenging to pay attention to that.
Sounds like you had to set some boundaries. What about you, Zita? Like, how has it been with the quarantine?
Actually, it's been pretty good. With Waliyyah being home, usually when I come home at 3, I work 7 to 3. Okay. When I come home at 3, she's not there. She's usually at work till 5. But when I get home at 4:30 or so, like just her being there, sometimes when she's working, I just sit there. just just sitting there, actually.
Yeah.
And then, what was the question? Sorry.
I was saying, like, did you have to like set any new boundaries during quarantine with just like quality time?
On weekends, like I work every other weekend. Okay. So on weekends when I don't work, we make sure like we're going on dates. We're just doing taking a walk together. No phone. Just conversation. And sometimes Waliyyah does this thing called sessions.
What's that? Tell us.
So it's like kind of peer counseling. So like setting aside time to basically listen to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
To like make space for kind of healing from past hurts.
Can past hurts be like yesterday, or is it like?
Yeah, it can be. It can be yesterday, but oftentimes you think of like the scenario of like the tree, the branches of the tree, and the roots. So the goal is to go to the roots, because things grew out of that. So a lot of stuff from like when you were younger, before 2 years old, things like that, to kind of get to the bottom of it. Because what happened yesterday connects to those things. So
you do that deep shit. How often?
I'm trying to get used to it. I'm still trying to get used to it.
How often do you do it?
5 years.
I teach a class. I lead a group once a week for about it's like 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And then I'll have my own sessions like once or twice a week. So it'll be like maybe 1.5 hours each time.
So are y'all doing it with each other though, right?
We do, but we haven't. I'm still not that comfortable. I think I'm still getting used to someone just listening to me.
Yeah.
So sometimes she'll be like, okay, 5 minutes. Just tell me what you feel. She won't interrupt, and she's really looking at you, like listening. And I'm like, okay, I'll do 3 minutes. I can't do 5 minutes.
It's a long time to talk for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can do it, but it is
She
a long
wants
time.
10 minutes. I'm like, no, 3 minutes is fine. Let's just start with that. But I'm still not that comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It feels good, though. It feels good. Even if I'm, like, we had a fight last week.
That's what I was about to say. Can y'all give us one of those times where y'all had a session?
Yeah. And actually, we get things resolved easily that way. You're listening to me for 5 minutes, and I'm really listening, not just there. And she's listening to me, and then we come together and figure out what to do with that. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
What were one of the most recent ones?
One of the most recent disagreements.
Disagreements?
And y'all kind of worked it out through one of the sessions.
What's up?
Or even just like, new awareness about each other.
What was the last disagreement?
I'm thinking.
I don't even remember.
It doesn't have to be a disagreement.
Yeah.
You might have just learned more about her. You might have learned more about yourself, vice versa.
I think I'm thinking about when we were in Belize.
Oh, okay.
When it was like late. I'm not okay. I'm not a big partier. I'm not like a night owl, like a lot, like out around a bunch of people. She was with her family. We were with her family.
You're Capricorn, though, right?
I'm a Capricorn, yeah, right? So great time after a wedding, everybody having a great time. I knew she wanted to like keep going. Like, you know, she don't see her family a lot. Like, she could keep going for hours. I was like, look,
till morning.
Yeah, I was like, babe, you know, it's about that time for me to like, you know, bring it down.
Where are you going?
Like,
don't you want to hang out with us?
You know, you don't want to hang out with us. I'm like, no, like I do, but I'm to my limit.
Right.
And I want you to go enjoy it, because if I'm there looking like, oh, I'm tired, then it would like drain her. Yeah. So I think we had a disagreement in that moment. But I was just like, okay, I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to go, you know, separate. But then I think we talked about it more in the morning to have like an understanding of, I wasn't trying to just leave you and your family, you know.
Right.
In the morning, I was like, oh, maybe I had a couple drinks. Too many. I'm sorry, you know what? But I had fun that night. I was like, why was I even upset? I still don't know why.
And I was enjoying knowing that she was having a good time.
Right.
Actually, what she liked to do.
The thing is, there's a curfew in Belize at midnight, and it was almost midnight, and I still didn't want to go home because I don't hang out with my sisters often. So I just wanted to stay and hang out with my sisters. And I did.
So you going to stay out past curfew?
Oh, we did. Yeah, we break curfew. Till like 2:30.
Me, I'm like, I'm from
we just sit on the beach.
Locked up abroad.
All night.
So I'm going to go back to the room.
Now, what would happen when y'all stay out past curfew? What is like the risk?
Well, my sister. Oh, I shouldn't even say my sisters are cops.
All right, wait. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it.
But I think if you're with your family, you can stay at your family's place. Yeah, you know.
But it was usually they have this thing because we were in a village. I'm from a small village. They have this thing like the cops will drive by at 12 o'clock, and then you won't see them again. So I was like, okay, let's go to the beach at 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock, you can take me home. There's nobody on the street.
Yeah.
And then if a cop come, you turn off your car and just lay in the seat till they pass by. That's it.
See, it's always a quiet one.
Right?
It's always a quiet one.
It's actually, I don't know why it was fun for me to just break curfew.
Yeah.
No, I don't go home often. So when I go, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So culturally, I know you have a Muslim background. I'm not sure about you, Zita, but you're from Belize. So any cultural differences that come up within your connection, the union, that you had to kind of like work through? Besides that you stay up all night partying.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She said, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, my family's Catholic.
Okay.
But I'm not Catholic. I'm not anymore. I'm Buddhist. But there's certain things. There's certain things that I still like to celebrate.
Yeah.
Like Christmas. I grew up celebrating Christmas. Easter. That's like our Easter is like a whole big Thanksgiving with my family. And Christmas, I have to celebrate Christmas. So when we met, actually it wasn't when we met, right? I think a couple years after we moved in together, I was like, I need a Christmas tree. She said, no, we're not doing Christmas tree. I was like, well, it's not even about, a Christmas tree. This is important to me. Like just Christmas made me feel closer to my family because again, I grew up having so much fun during Christmas time. And I was so pissed, excuse my language, when she said no to my Christmas tree. I was like, come on. I was like, don't you want a Christmas tree? Light up the house.
So years later, how does it work out on Christmas?
She decides. If she wants a tree, we get a tree. I mean, we did get a tree eventually. If she don't feel like a tree that year, then we don't get a tree.
Okay.
I mean,
that was the first one.
lead.
So the second Christmas, she was like, aren't you going to get a tree?
I was trying to grow. I was trying to,
But, how about you? I think
that's probably like the biggest thing. I was like, I can't beat a Muslim with a big Christmas tree in my living room,
I mean, uncomfortable when mom and dad comes in the house.
But at the end of the day, what I learned from her is it's about us. And it challenged me to think about why I was holding on to certain things, you know, and what my personal opinion was, not necessarily what somebody else told me it should be. So that's why she takes the lead. And we celebrate, like, I guess culturally in Ramadan, whether I'm fasting or not fasting. I remember the first, she came home, cooked for me, and like made sure I had everything, you know, and she celebrates the Eid with me and my family.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm a cook, but I'm not going to fast because I be hungry all the time.
I'm like, that's fine, you know. But we just learn how to kind of support each other.
Yeah. I think it's interesting though how those cultural dynamics can come up within a relationship. Yeah. You all both being women of color. Do you both identify as lesbians?
Yeah, I do.
You know, sometimes people don't. You just got you know, you just got. Yeah. So coming from your respective backgrounds, Catholicism, Islam, like how did that factor into one, you connecting with yourself, but also saying, I'm marrying a woman. Like, how does that factor into it? And then with the family dynamic as well.
Yeah. I guess from the connecting with myself, I would say it was a journey. You know, it was a journey. I come from, and you know, being a Capricorn, well, I'm kind of like a rule follower, like a regimented.
I'm a little
like,
different.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I think I'm a lot different now too. But just the way I grew up, I was just like, you know, kind of this is the path.
Yeah.
So when I guess it was initiated by me starting to connect with myself and know myself, it was like, oh, maybe that's not the path. So like a journey of really figuring out how to learn myself, but then also show that self to the world.
Yeah.
And feel safe or feel unapologetic about it, and start showing myself to the world, and then also show myself to the people I care about, like my family, because that was like a whole nother, you know, step and level. But I think once that happened, then I was able to, it made space to connect with, you know, someone as beautiful as her, you know.
Thanks.
Just gonna slide that in there.
Yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask a little bit more, but Zita, I want you to tell me a little bit about your experience.
With being Catholic and growing up in Belize, like it was hard. I didn't come out when I was living in Belize. I was afraid. Especially because I worked on an island where there's a lot of men that were always after you, like hitting on you, and then to say that you're gay, like it's like it was like a no. So I was literally afraid to come out. So when I moved to Chicago, that was like so many years ago. 30 years old. I was still, when I moved here, I was hiding it. I was dating, but when I moved, I didn't date. When I moved to Philadelphia, that was like 2002, I think it was. I didn't want to be gay. I did not want to be gay because everybody was looking at me like it's wrong. There's something wrong with you. I remember I told my cousin, she was like, well, you know what? You're just lonely. It's going to pass. And I started to believe it. I joined a church, and I was going to Bible study religiously. I was praying the gay away. Yeah. I was a Bible study. Tuesday, I was a Bible study. Thursday, I was a Bible study. Sunday. And I did it for about 3 years. And I'm like, nope, I'm not going to be gay. I don't want to be gay. I don't want to. And people were telling me, oh, you have to have kids. And all of that was in my head. But I remember one day I said, you know what? Fuck it. I called my mom. New Year's Day. I remember New Year's Day. Yeah. 30 years old. I was like, Mom, I'm gay. It was like a quiet in the background, like quiet. I said, I'm gay. is another quiet. I was like, you there? She said, I'm here. So my heart was going crazy. I was like, they're going to disown me. I'm not going to go home anymore. And my mom said, oh, we knew. I was just waiting for you to tell me. I was like, what? So I called my sisters. They were like, oh, yeah, we know. You dated one guy forever.
Yeah.
We were hiding. And the guy that I was dating was actually gay, too. Uh-huh. So, we we were hiding with each other.
Yeah. So I guess like how the guys say the girl, acting like they hetero, it's the beard. Yeah. But I guess for you, that was your pocketbook, I guess.
We were hiding. But my family are very supportive. Mm-hmm. If you say anything about me, they're coming after you.
Yeah.
They're really, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect it at all.
Yeah.
I did not expect it. Now when we go home, they're like, where's Waliyyah?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Right.
They're very supportive. My nieces and the little ones still say, is Waliyyah your best friend? Yeah, she's my best friend. Auntie Waliyyah. But it was hard in the beginning, but once I came out, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is with a lot of things. Like we, because it's new, we say it's hard. Yeah, but it's just new, right? We're just figuring it out. I remember being in college, Black Planet. And I was like, I'm gonna say I'm bisexual, not because it's a social media thing where it's the dating app for Black people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say it was a dating app because it wasn't. It was just like a social network, but you date, right? So I'm on there college. I'm going to say I'm bi. Not that I even want to meet a guy, but because to me, it's like I'm easing into it. So I remember meeting my first girlfriend. I remember my mom saying, neither one of y'all got boyfriends. Boyfriends? Who is that, right? But she said from the first time, she said she knew. But she was waiting for me to tell her. Now, if somebody would ask me, I would tell them directly, right? But, we finally had a conversation. But I remember in my head thinking, like, she's going to disown me. Oh, wow. Christian, went to church, grew up in the church. From 4 years old, she still go to that church now, and I'm 38 now. So she's a minister, So it's just like, she's going to disown me. And I'm prepared for that. It's just like, all right, guys, we close, but hey, it's my life. Gotta live my life. Long story short, that didn't happen. She's the most welcoming, loving person I know. However, there are levels to it, right? There's a level of acceptance. Then there's a level of like applause and celebration. Yeah. Because I still would get that microaggression of, this is Nicole's friend. Mom, what you gonna do when I get married? Oh, we ain't there yet. So was that another step for you all?
We were friends. Yeah, that's my friend, Wa.
Yeah, so coming out to your family when it's like, I want to marry this person, I can see myself with this person for forever. Was that like another, level of like you're coming out and kind of like seeing how accepting are they? Were they accepting because it's like, oh, it's a phase, how people say, or I don't want to make her run to it even more. How was it when you said, I'm going to ask her, whoever asked, I don't know how y'all did it. How was that part?
I think for me, it's funny. I never really told my parents, like when I was dating somebody new, or it wasn't conversations that we had. But after I met her, and I think it was like a month after I was knitting something for her, I told my mom, I was like, I'm making this for my friend. I said my friend Zita, because we had just started dating, who knew what was going to happen. Yeah. But I knew that it was important to tell her and to show her who she was. And even from the beginning, to show her how special she was to me. So as we moved along, I told her more things. Like, I want you to meet her, which was out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? But then I think they just kind of followed my lead. I was nervous about it, but they followed my lead to a point. Like, some of my family members didn't come to my wedding. I think because they just didn't have a concept in their mind to be able to witness a marriage between two women.
Yeah, yeah.
But also at the same time, after the wedding, their relationships grew. So, like, my dad and Zita be joking all the time. And she like my mom best friend. Like, I walk through the door, where's Zita? Like, I'm like, well, I'm here. Like, you know. Right. So I think it just kind of grew. Mm-hmm. It was I was anxious about it. Yeah. But I think she was so compelling that I couldn't not be open about her. Right. Like, it was like I had to take that chance. Like, I told my mom when she proposed to me, I told my mom we were going to get married, as opposed to before, I just wouldn't tell anybody anything. You know what I mean? I'm living my life.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. So.
What about you, Zita? When you told your mom, did you tell your mom you were going to propose?
No. I just told her. I didn't tell her anything about it. I just said, we're getting married on April 23rd. She said, okay, what day are you buying my ticket for? So she was here. She was ready. Yeah. She cooked everything for the wedding.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you all get married here in the States?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fairmont Park.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
It was nice. It's intimate. And I think that was their first time being at a gay wedding. All staring.
Yeah. That was my first time meeting her mom. First time meeting her brother.
Wow.
It was first time meeting a lot of her family.
And the first time married. First time you met my mom, I think my mom was like, I like her. I like her, and I think she went and talked to you.
Mm-hmm. After we got married, at the reception, we had a barbecue afterwards. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We was all hanging out.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so I got a little game we're going to play. Got this little book, right? It's full of little memes. We talk about social media. Okay. But it's about connecting to your partner, secure partnership. So we're going to call it a random ass page, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is our RAP session. Okay. So I want y'all to do the honors of finding a random page in this book. A random page in this book, and then we're going to discuss what the meme says, and we're going to see how it applies to you. I kind of do this for myself with random books that I have around the house. Mm-hmm. If I find that something is kind of plaguing me too much, I'm thinking about something. Mm-hmm. All right, Spirit, what do I need today to move forward? Mm-hmm. Random page. It's like, voila. Yeah. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
The secure relationship. It was just random page.
Yeah, random page.
Not that one.
Not the title page.
Oh, that's the title. Okay. It's still the title. I guess I'm not supposed to. Okay.
Maybe you need to start at the beginning. It's like, no. This one.
So it says concerns versus criticism. The difference between a concern and a criticism. Concerns address the behavior. Criticism attack the person. Concerns are solution focused. Criticism are shame focused. Can y'all tell us a time of where you had concerns with the other person? Maybe you did deliver it as a criticism. Or maybe y'all were so good and so in love that y'all delivered it as a concern.
I'm trying to think of concern versus a criticism. I gotta think.
I think. I gotta think. I don't know.
Anything that was like a yellow flag before marriage.
Before
marriage.
It could be at any point of a union.
Oh. Before we got married, Waliyyah had a roommate. And I was like, I'm not moving in. I don't know if that's her friend. She said she's her friend or her girlfriend or her ex-girlfriend. And I think I told her about it. She was like, what?
Because you know the roommate. Like,
yeah.
That was a concern. That was a, what?
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a concern.
You think it was a criticism?
Just like
because I was like, why don't you believe what I said?
Right. That's just like the little niece still saying you just the best friend though. So like, is that just your roommate? What about you, Waliyyah?
A conservative criticism.
Long story short, I guess you're perfect, Zita.
No.
No. I am so far from it. Conservative.
I mean, the thing that my mind is going to is when we first met, she worked at night and I worked during the day. So we were like off schedule wise. And when we first met, I liked her a lot. And then she was like, no, I actually don't have that much time. I got to sleep during the day. And so then when she came back around, I think I was more concerned. Like, I think I was trying to dig into, like,
why?
What's the deal with her?
Yeah.
Like, is she going to disappear again? You know, like, so I think I was kind of criticizing her, like, well, who knows what's going to happen? You know, like, being kind of shady.
How long was that little pause?
It was a couple weeks.
Yeah. I think.
A couple weeks.
And the reason that happened, because I was dating, I dated a couple of people before, and I jumped into it too fast, and it didn't work. So, and
Definitely
then they were lying too about a lot of things. So
Yeah.
when I went to meet Waliyyah, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell her I'm busy because I don't want her to think I'm always available. And I'm gonna take it slow. So the reason I said I wasn't available is because
You try to pace yourself.
Yeah. I didn't want to go fast. I am that type of person that would jump in, like all in. So I didn't want to do that anymore. So I was taking my time getting to know her.
Yeah.
And I didn't want, like, I didn't want to see her every day. I didn't want to talk to her every day. So that's another thing. I wanted to pace it.
What kind of lesbian are you?
I don't know why.
I was about to say, that's like the certified personality trait of a lesbian.
I was protecting
What you
my
doing?
heart, right? I didn't want to fall in love with her.
Yeah.
So I started protecting myself.
Have you been in love before you met her?
I thought I was. No, I don't think so. No.
What about you, Waliyyah?
No.
I think I was with someone who I didn't completely know. I was in love with an idea of a person.
So bring us to like now. What does that in love, loving somebody when you know them, what does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you know that you know that you know?
How do you know?
How do you know? How do you know? Go ahead.
No, you go. If you got words, you go.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. The word that comes to mind, I would say, is space. Like space for them, like just wanting to make space for her to be, not at the expense of myself, but just this excitement to just like see whatever unfold, you know, whether it's her discovering herself or her showing me something, like whatever it is. I think it's just this excitement about who she is, like in her heart as a person and her soul.
Yeah. That reminds me of that Love and Lunch we did, Love Now Media, and a couple was talking about how the Egyptian symbol of love is like the plow, because love is cultivation. So when you talk about like just for her to be her, you know, because I to me, that is like the essence of true partnership, that I'm really here to help you cultivate like whatever your greatness is, you know, so it really is a kind of pushing and pulling sometimes, you know, and allowing and falling back, you know, it's all of those things. What about for you?
What's the question again?
I almost forgot the question too.
When
How
I
do
watch
you know
Waliyyah,
that you know?
Yeah, when I watch you dancing, it's like...
I thought you were the dance machine, though.
Huh?
I thought you were the dance machine.
But I love
She
to dance.
got me dancing.
I love to dance. When Waliyyah is dancing, there's just joyfulness about the way she moves and the smile on her face. It's like, it's so light. I don't know how to put it. Like, I just love watching her dancing. it makes me fall in love with her all the time. So I'm always encouraging her to dance. And just
That's so funny. And it's so funny because that's what she does. Like, she leads me in that. I'm not a dancer. I've danced more than I've ever danced in my life in the past, 5-6 years being with her. So it's just it's interesting that you say that.
It's so funny too. Today is February 3rd.
What's February 3rd?
What's February 3rd?
Well, the 4th was our first date. February 4th.
Oh, wow.
6 years ago.
6 years, yeah. That's when we
nervous. Like, I'm going to go meet this
That's
girl
the day we
tomorrow.
Nice. How did y'all meet? How were y'all introduced? Like,
you have time.
we got a little bit.
Online.
Okay.
We met on Plenty of Fish.
Yeah.
We met on Plenty of Fish.
That's the move nowadays.
And when we met, I looked at her profile and I was like, oh, she looked joyful. But next,
she ain't sent me a message.
Go ahead.
But Plenty of Fish, you could see who looks at your profile. So then I go on the app. I'm like, oh,
now is that the free one? Is that the free one?
It's the free one.
Okay, I only get the free ones.
I get the free one.
I don't be ambitious.
She was in my profile. Let me go look at her profile. I was like, oh, okay. So then I sent her a message.
Right. Well, what did you say?
What did I say?
About coffee, because I love coffee. I love sitting in coffee shops. And she was like,
I read the profile.
Right.
I said, you like coffee, so what's your favorite coffee shop in Philly?
Yeah.
I like what I see, but you seem like someone I would like to get to know better.
Right.
Yeah.
And, because I was working on being direct, not just like, I don't want to go back and forth for a million years.
Exactly.
Novels, you know what I mean? So I like you. Let's see what happens.
And obviously it worked.
It worked. But the thing is, on our first date, something happened.
I was like, this is a great date. We had the coffee. Because I don't drink. So that's why I was like, coffee, because it's not fully a whole meal.
Right.
If it don't go good, it's over. So then after the date, she friends with my ex that just dumped me. I was like, oh,
the thing is, after the date, we were walking. We were walking, and we were holding hands. I was like, it just happened. We just hold hands on the first date. I was like, and it felt good. But then I told Waliyyah, a friend of mine is at my house with a baby. My aunt is babysitting for them, and I think I was supposed to call them or something like that. I forgot. So I said, my friend.
And said the name.
I said the name.
So
let's just say my friend Julie. She was like,
who?
Julie, who?
I said the Julie, last name. She was like, yeah.
Yes. She said, that's my ex.
And how recently?
It was like probably, I guess it was like a year.
Okay.
But the crazy thing is that same day, when we don't usually talk, like I didn't talk to this person anymore. They sent me a text saying, hey, how's it going? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was weird.
Set up?
It was weird because
I was like, this is.
It was weird because the friend was at my house. I told her I was going on a date, but I never said a name. I just said I was going on a date.
Right.
And she was like, don't jump into stuff too, blah, blah, blah. And, take it easy. I was like, thank you. And I left.
So,
not knowing.
But were you friends with Julie when they were together?
The thing is, I've known this person for maybe I use the word friend loosely. She wasn't a friend, and she was somebody that disappears a lot. Like, you see her today, and then you won't see her like another year, and the person just appears. So she appeared the day before. I haven't seen her
again.
I haven't seen her in like a couple years.
Oh wow.
I haven't seen her in about 2 years. And she got off of social media and she just disappeared. All of a sudden she came back and said, oh, do you know someone who can babysit? I said, babysit who? She said, I have a baby. I was like, okay.
She came in with a baby and everything.
So she came. I said, my aunt is here, is not doing anything. She'll babysit. So she came to the house that day, and it just happened. We went on a date. And then she think I was setting her up.
6 degrees separation. I mean, Philly is like a small town.
Yeah.
When she said that, so when I was on my way to work, so I called the person. I was like, Julie, you will not believe this. I just went on a date with Wally. She was like, Wally? Who? I said, Wally, your ex. She was like, really? She said, that's when she said, you know what? You two would get along. She really is a cool person.
Okay.
And I can see you two together.
And that's what I was wondering.
That's what she told me. She said nothing bad at all. And she was like, I think I can see you two together. But then after we got together, like, I didn't hear from them.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we see them around.
She did her part. She played her part.
Yeah,
she was the instrument in the beginning. You felt more comfortable. Yeah. It was good.
But I was like, yeah, pretty cool. But I knew I loved her, but I didn't know how to tell her that I loved her. I didn't want to say it. But then we had a party at her house, and then my friend said, my friend told you.
You know, people drinking, getting intoxicated. Her friend said, you know, Zita love you. I said, and then, I'm the sober person. So I was like, yeah, I know. She said, no, like, she love you. So I'm like, damn, you tell her business like that. I said, okay.
Yeah. So how do you show Waliyyah you love her, Zita?
Wow. I do a lot. We do a lot for each other. Like,
what's that one thing that you know is very particular to Waliyyah, and you do it because that's where she most receives
food,
love?
Cooking. Just sometimes when she's at work and I'm at home, like I'm so excited for her to get home because I'm a cook and make sure she good. But by the time she get home, she don't have to do anything. We can just chill.
Right.
So that I know she love. So I do that because I don't know. I just love doing it for her, and I know she appreciate it.
Yeah.
She don't expect it, but she appreciate it.
Right. I will get into a lot of situations over food.
I know, right?
Nick, I'm making this. Yeah, I'll come over. Sure. I would have it would be like the dad's girlfriend. Like, Nick, I'm making ribs, macaroni and cheese on Sunday. I don't even want to see this girl.
I know, but you gonna
all right, I'll be over there. All right, I'll be over there. Yeah, food used to give me some mess. So now it's like, it's nice if you cook, but I try to take my time with that. What about you, Waliyyah, besides dancing?
How do I show my love to Zita? It's something about like this is like the theoretical thing, but kind of like standing beside her and just like nudging her to remind her that she's not alone. I think the way I guess the recent thing I'm thinking about is when COVID started, my job moved to the home, and she still had to go out of the home and work around people and work in healthcare. So it was a very stressful time, a kind of risky time. So a way that I wanted to show her that she was supported and that I loved and cared for her, even when she was out there, doing what she was doing, was waking up, like just simple as waking up, because she leave the house at 6.
Okay.
I don't have to be up that early, but waking up, making her coffee, making her breakfast, packing her lunch. I guess food,
when
too.
it snows, she goes outside, clean the car, start it for me.
Because I could get back in bed for a little bit, but just at that moment when she, when you're like, oh, I gotta go do this thing. Yeah. Like showing up in those moments.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that Waliyyah does is leaving cards in certain places. Like I'll come home from work, go straight to the bathroom, there's a card in the sink. Nice. Or there's a card on the toilet.
You gonna see this card.
Yes.
I know your habits.
I love that so much. I love that. Just like the personal notes, like handwriting.
What's one of the notes?
You have a lot, but the one note that I remember that I'm safe. I remember, I think I was going through something. I think I was going through something that day. And I came home and I called her. I think I don't know if I was crying from work, but I was just going through something, and I came home and you have a note on the sink. And then there was one on the bed too. And it says, "You're safe. You're my person. You'll always be my person. And that, like, I was like, that is so sweet. I still have a couple cards in my bag that I keep. Every time I think about her or I'm upset, I read it.
Nice.
She write notes too.
Yeah.
What does she write?
She'll tell me, like, she'll write, "You're beautiful." You're something about, like, excitement, just like how much she enjoys just spending each day together and loving each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love being married.
Yeah.
I love it.
What's like the difference between like when you all were just together and you married? What's the biggest thing that you feel like you gained?
Best friend.
Yeah.
I always say she's my favorite person.
Yeah.
But I know it's a lot.
I think it's some sense of it provides a place to be able to rest. Like, and I didn't even think it would, because I was like, if we're together, we're together. It's not, historically, I was thinking we don't have to be married. Like, if we together, we
Because
together.
at one point we couldn't.
Yeah. But the act of getting married and then after that, it's just a difference that I felt, like standing there and making that commitment to each other in front of the people that care about us.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're held in a certain way,
Yeah. And you all both started this interview talking about safety. You more so, Zita, just talking about how you use the word comfortable, but I got what you meant when you said that she's here and, I feel comfortable, but I got that you felt comforted and you said that she listens to you, that you feel safe. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Resting while black, right? Resting while being black lesbians, resting during COVID and your medical professionals.
Yeah.
But just being able to get that rest, that respite, to feel safe.
Yeah.
If you could give the audience, our listeners, like 1 point each in regards to how to really build that rest within their connection, that respite, what would it be? The easier word might be security.
Yeah.
Or safety. What's one tangible way they could do that?
No, I'm just waiting to see if you want to go first. I don't want to.
I always want you to go first.
I could go. The thought that popped in my head was to listen. I guess because safety means different things to people,
Yeah.
To listen, to know what it means to that person that you love, to understand how to show it or provide it.
That's good.
Yeah. I second that because I'm not sure what to say.
Oh no. We're going to keep rolling until you give us a tidbit because I know that you know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know how to answer this question, but one thing that I want to say is about when you fight. When you fight, we never fight dirty ever. I always try to remember how we met. And I think I lost my train of thought, but that's one.
So I'm going to help you out a bit. So if you don't ever fight dirty, what does it mean to fight clean? What does that look like?
Just listen to each other. The thing is, I'm still learning to communicate. Waliyyah is a communicator. shut down. When I'm upset, I don't want to talk. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. But I have been learning to communicate more, to listen more, because she is a really great listener, and I'm terrible at it. But I have been learning to listen.
Any tricks on how you stay present?
I learned how to stay present from Zita because she knows how to like not get caught up in external and old stuff, or like she'll play a song and sing really loud at the top of her lungs, and then she like centers herself. Okay. And then she's present, or she'll dance, and then, you know, I feel like she knows how to just stay present even if it's in the midst of chaos.
Yeah. So it has to be some grounding done first. Yeah. That makes sense. And I think within a coupleship, I feel like people tend to want to get right to the conversation. Yeah. And if one person is like, all right, let me go prepare real quick. Like, let me get myself together. Somebody, no, I want to talk right now. So I think, yeah, but that's great that you said that she can go ground herself. So you got to be a little more present and a little more flexible, you know, so that's good. And I find that in some specific way, opposites attract. Like, I'm a communicator, but I don't ever attract the communicator. So I have to find ways to like try to be present, be patient, and be understanding, and not take it personally. Yeah. You know?
Yep. Not take it personally.
Yeah. So that's good. So thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a great session. I love all this love, glow, and melanin. Y'all all in love and stuff.
I've learned a lot. I've learned to deeply love from Waliyyah. I think I love you deeply. I really do. Aww. And, you know, before I finish, one thing that I really loved about Waliyyah when I met her, I used to criticize myself a lot. Like, I'm fat. Like, I don't look good in this. And she would never do that. Waliyyah will never, I've never seen her looking at herself saying, I'm fat. And I've learned to love my body and love myself by watching her. Yeah. Like when she gets dressed, she's like, I look cute. Like, you do look cute. No, I do that. And I've learned that from her, and I appreciate that. I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Yeah, so on that note, if somebody says they love you, their love should bring them closer to you. It should bring you closer to yourself. Yeah. It should be a reflection of how you love yourself when somebody's loving you right. I like that. All right. That's it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Thank you.